Thanks for supporting the channel by clicking the links in the description box. And thank you so much for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And now let's get into this podversation. Hey, what's up, guys? We're going to have a podversation, and this one is going to be about Pam Long. She's from the 90s R&B group Total. She was the standout in the group because you always, even though they all wore sunglasses, I always remembered her, and most of us remember her because she had that voice, that high-pitched singing voice that it really looked like she would have had a lower-pitched voice because of her look and her mannerisms. She just sung in a way that she didn't really look. And the group had a lot of hits in the 90s, but as many of the artists from the Bad Boy label, they just kind of fell off the face of the earth, and you never really heard anything from them again. Well, last year, Cyntoia Brown, she was convicted of taking out someone who she said was, I guess, I don't want to say the word on this, but you know what I mean, doing some things to her. And she was also prostituting herself. She was selling herself for money, but she said she thought that this person was going to kill her, and she was in prison for a lot of years. Well, her story got out. A lot of celebrities picked up the story and it went viral, and she wound up being granted clemency by the governor of the state. So she was released, and she's written a book, and she's gone on a press tour for her book. And so during these press junkets, it was revealed that she was married. And not only was she married, but the person that she was married to, he wound up being the ex-husband of Pam from the group Total. Well, on October the 20th, she did a podcast on her show called Pam's World, her podcast, and she made some statements about Jamie Long, her ex-husband, because somehow there was some back and forth. And when Cyntoia Brown was being interviewed on The Breakfast Club, he was there, and he made some statements about his ex-wife, Pam Long. So I don't know if that triggered her and she decided to make these statements on her podcast at that time, which was last year, but she said she needed to make these statements because she felt like she needed to warn Cyntoia and warn this woman about the man that she was currently married to, saying that he's a manipulator, he's done this, he's done that, you don't really know this person. And she said that he pursued Cyntoia Brown, and the way he pursued Cyntoia was the same way that she felt like she was pursued by him. Well, honestly, a lot of the things that were said about this man by Pam, a lot of people believed, because she sounded true to her convictions. She sounded like she was somebody who really went through some terrible things with this man. And also the fact that, one, when the story was coming out and circulating viral about Cyntoia Brown and people trying to get her released, trying to get her out of prison, you never heard anything about a boyfriend, let alone a husband. So a lot of people wouldn't have even thought that she was in a relationship, let alone married. And also the fact that she had been in prison a lot of years. A lot of the images that were being shown of her were images from earlier years, because she was in prison for a long time. So a lot of people still saw this girl as a young lady, as a young girl. A lot of people saw her as a young girl because she was put in prison as a young girl, because that's when all of this happened. So when Pam Long came out and said all of these things about this guy, a lot of people believed the things that she said because it looked very skeptical that he wound up marrying this young lady, and she had been in prison all of these years. So a lot of people felt like, well, one, how did they even get into communication with each other? And two, how did they end up getting married? Well, when he told the story on the Breakfast Club about how he wrote her letters and he singed the ends of the envelope or something like that because he knew that she was getting a lot of mail and he wanted to, he wanted it to stand out, then it sounded like somebody who is, they can manipulate, and it also sounded like somebody who is on top of their game, and you have to be somebody who is pretty much a gamer in order to manipulate someone. So when Pam made these statements about this guy last year, a lot of it was believable, even though none of us were there. I'm not even going to lie. When I heard about it, I was wondering, of course, I couldn't say yes or no it was true or not, but it did sound like she was telling the truth. I didn't think she had any reason to lie, but I didn't know her. I don't know him. I don't know any of them. But the story sounded believable. But the reason I'm talking about this is because I'm just wondering what was really the cause for her to come out and apologize. What prompted her to come out and apologize to him, to her, to those that she loves and trusts and wants to gain their forgiveness? What made her come out and share this apology?
I come before you today with deep regrets concerning the statement that I'm about to make. On October the 20th, 2019, for my show Pam's World, I made a comment about my ex-husband, Jamie Long. And that comment was that he forces himself on women. And right after that, I said, do you remember that night? I was telling the world that my ex-husband, not even basically, I was telling the world that my ex-husband forced himself on me sexually. And that was a lie. Jamie, I'm sorry for what it is that I have said about you. I'm sorry for the shame that I have brought to your name, to your family, to you, your wife, your mom, your sister, and those who love you. Also to my family, to my church family, to my friends, to those who love me, who had no idea that this was a lie that I said concerning Jamie. I ask that you forgive me as well. Jamie, I'm sorry, and I know that sorry does not make up for what it is that I have said, but I ask that you would find it in your heart to forgive me for what it is that I have done to you and to your family.
Okay, well, you heard her apology, and while it is commendable for anybody to admit their wrongdoings, because let's face it, a lot of people have so much pride today where they will know that they are lying, they will know what they did, they will know that they are wrong, and they will still try to convince themselves that what they said is the truth and convince others that the other person is lying. And that is rampant today. So while I commend her for coming out and saying that she was wrong and apologizing, of course, that doesn't make the situation right. And we don't know if he'll accept the apology, if she, meaning Satoya, his current wife, will accept her apology, because that is something that can damage people, and it's also a cause for defamation of character lawsuit if he wanted to go there. I don't know if he will, but when you put those types of allegations out there about people, it damages them, and it can cause people to lose their career, lose opportunities, lose people in their lives. Like, that could have caused him to have issues with his current wife and cause a rift between them and, cause them to break up. I mean, so many things could have happened from that situation, and some things may have happened from that situation. So I don't really know where they go from there, but I do wonder what made her come out and just out of the blue apologize for that statement that she made over a year ago, and why did she do it? Why did she lie? Was it because of jealousy? Did she feel like inferior in some way, that he's on the come up and she's in a place where she may be not happy? Maybe she may be in a bit of a struggle where she is right now, and he is with someone who, not saying a book deal is going to make her rich and famous, but I mean, it has definitely got her notoriety and opportunities that she doesn't have right now. And for being who she is she knows what it's like to be in the spotlight. She had the opportunity back in the 90s where she was signed to Bad Boy, and they had many hit songs. I don't know what happened to the money aspect, because you already know being on that Bad Boy label, just it seems like the money thing just doesn't really work out with a lot of his artists. And so I'm just curious, why did she come out and make this apology now? And why did she lie in the first place? I don't know. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section. It could be so many things. And sometimes things go so deep. And I'm not saying that this is the case, because obviously I don't know. But maybe some things did happen that were not right when they were married to each other. Not saying everything that she said was the truth or everything that she said was a lie, but maybe some things actually did happen in their relationship that were not cool, that were disrespectful moments to her, and she exaggerated it in a way, possibly. Or maybe some of the things that she said did happen, and he and her made some type of pact and said, hey, get out there, clear my name, I'll look out for you if you do it. I don't know. But again, it's just a thought. Not saying that's exactly what happened, because I have no idea. But you guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And thank you so much for the comments. Thank you so much for liking and sharing and subscribing. And until the next episode, have an amazingly blessed and beautiful day.